guys, I'm Sharma and today we are going to talk about different countries and their licensing exams. So in the last video that I made, I talked a little bit about USMLE, PLAB and Australian medical examination, and like about different countries and all the career prospects that you have. And today I'm going to talk more about it, and I'm going to give you options. Like, of course, you're going to be in first year, maybe you're watching and you're already a graduate, so you just want to know what are your options. So the top 3 options that mostly students have and that are like the most popular options, apart from of course your own country, is USMLE, from which you go to US. You give PLAB. By clearing it, you go to UK. And AMC, which by clearing you will go to Australia. And I'm going to talk a little bit about each of these examinations. So USMLE is a 3-step examination. Step 1, which you can give after your 3rd year, or you can give afterwards after you graduate, anytime after your 3rd year. You give step 2, which used to be of 2 parts. Now it is just 1 part, which is called step 2 CK, clinical knowledge. And step 3, which you give after you have passed step 2 and almost when you are going to match. The thing about PLAB is that it is in 2 parts, PLAB 1, which is written, and then PLAB 2, which is OSCE. In my previous video, I have talked about OSCE and how medical schools here have OSCE kind of structure that can help you in the PLAB preparation. So do watch that video first. And so yeah, the first part and the second part is there in PLAB, and even in AMC, the Australian Medical Council examination, you have the first part and the second part. The first part is MCQ examination, and then the second part is again about the clinical stuff, so you have to be present there. And it is almost like OSCE. You have like stations where you have to go, and then there is a person who's assessing you, and you have to give that examination. And we can talk about the eligibility criteria that all these have. So first I'll talk about USMLE. You have to be registered in a medical university or medical college, whatever you call it, which should be, your medical school should be under the World Directory of Medical Schools. So when you go to internet or whatever, Google WDOMS, just Google WDOMS, you can search your medical school there. If it is present there, then you can give USMLE. You're eligible for that. And if your medical university or school is not registered there or present there, then you're not eligible for giving this exam. For PLAB, it's the same. Your university should be registered or recognized by WDOMS. And for AMC, it is quite different than these two. For AMC, your medical university should be recognized by Australian Medical Council. So you have to go to their website, or AMC website, and you have to search. They provide like kind of a PDF of university that they recognize. So if your university is there, then good. If it's not there, you can have other options, it's fine. Another thing is that a candidate for USMLE can be a 3rd year student or a graduate. Anyone can give USMLE. Even if you're like 60 years old, you can give USMLE. For PLAB, you should be graduated from your medical school. So you should be a graduate. You should hold a medical degree before you give that exam. And it is all verified by GMC, which is like General Medical Council of UK, and they verify your documents, and then after that you give that exam. So there's this whole other thing for PLAB. And even for AMC, you should also have you should also already have that medical qualification. So you should already be an MBBS graduate before you give these 2 exams, PLAB and AMC. And as a student, you can give USMLE after you complete your clinical, like non-clinical sciences. That is the first 2 years. In 3rd year, like after 3rd year, you can give step 1. Now kind of going deeper into it, for USMLE, the exam structure is like step 1, then you are giving step 2, then you're giving step 3. So why are there 3 steps? So step 1 kind of assesses or examines your knowledge about your basic clinical sciences. So the first 2 years you're learning about the basic clinical sciences, you're not yet rotating in hospitals. So you are going to give that examination, and there are like various subjects that you're going to prepare for step 1. And then after that, when you're done with the next 2 years, like after your 4th year or maybe in your 5th year, you give step 2, when you already have that clinical knowledge, and step 2 is to test your clinical knowledge. And then after you have done everything, after you have graduated, you give step 3, and you have to go to US to give step 3. For step 1 and 2 you can give it in your country at the center. So there is this prometric center that you have to choose, and you get to choose when to take these exams. So you choose that prometric center, you go to that prometric center in your country, and you give that exam. But step 3, you have to go to the US, and then you have to go give that exam there, and it assesses everything. For PLAB, it's kind of a 2-part exam. So PLAB 1, it is a written test, and with written test I mean like there are going to be multiple choice questions, not like the subjective tests. It is a 3-hour examination. And then PLAB 2 is OSCE, like there are going to be stations, and you have to be there. In each station you have to spend like almost 8 minutes, and then there will be a person sitting there assessing you, and they'll be like writing notes. So PLAB is like that. And AMC, you again have 2 part of exam. First one will have 150 multiple choice questions, which is going to take 3.5 hours. So you have 3.5 hours to give this exam. And then after that, the second part is the clinical exam, which kind of tests your real world knowledge, just like step 3, just like OSCE. You have to go through like 20 different kind of tasks, and that includes talking to a patient, that includes reviewing the information, that includes making notes and like reading notes, and all that thing, making diagnosis and everything. And the second part takes around 3 hours 20 minutes. So these are the 3 types of exams, and how, like the gist of it. When you are going to give these 3 exams, you have to be eligible in another way. So you have to show that you know English. So you have to give an English proficiency test. For USMLE, you have to give OET, that includes listening, reading and speaking, and also in writing, I guess. So you have to go give OET. For PLAB, you can give either OET, but mostly people use IELTS. And for AMC, it receives OET or IELTS, anything. So there is nothing that you have to be like. And the thing is that these English proficiency examinations are very easy, so don't take tension about these examinations, just focus on the main exams. Next thing is that you have to choose the right exam. Now you cannot give all of these exams. Of course you can, but the cost is different. Now I'm going to tell you about the cost. So things don't stop at only giving the exams, and when you have when you already have the marks, you're going to be invited to be a doctor in that country. No, it does not work like that. So for example, the total cost of USMLE step 1, you will have to for the form, you have to fill the form and submit the form. You have to give $1,000, and if you want to change the date of your examination, there are extra costs. So hopefully you do not have to change the date of your examination. Step 1 costs around $1,000, step 2 costs around $1,000, again step 3 also costs around $1,000 to $2,000, and you have to go to that country. You have to like add all these expenses, and it does not stop at that. Giving USMLE and clearing USMLE does not mean that you are guaranteed a seat or a job as a resident in America. They assess a lot of things. They assess your extracurriculars, they assess how much hands-on clinical work you have done in the US. So it's a lot of hidden charges, and that is like almost 25 to 30 lakh rupees. So if you want to give USMLE, you have to keep in mind that you have to spend. You will have to. It's not something like you won't, or you will find any way. You will have to pay around 25 to 30 lakhs. For PLAB, it's around 10 lakhs. About like I'm including the exams, the amount of money you will have to spend to go there, come back, apply for jobs and everything. For Australian medical examination, same as PLAB, 10 lakh, 12 lakh. You will have to spend this much money. So keep in mind that about what you want to do and which country you have to go to. For example, if you want to have a life in the UK, or have a life in Australia, or you want to have a life in America, or which kind of field you have to go into. So in America, you just cannot go and show up like, I want to be a dermatologist, just take me because I have cleared USMLE. You cannot be like that. So there are like different criterias and everything. It's not like Indian medical, like NEET PG, that your rank determines or your marks determines which branch you get. It's everything. They determine which branch you get. So for example, even if you score the highest marks in step 1, step 2, or step 3 in USMLE, you are not going to be guaranteed a spot. So your 25 lakh could be wasted, or you could make use of that. So it literally depends on your mentality. It also depends on your dedication to work along with that, and like a lot of things. It depends on a lot of things. So after you have given these examinations, like what after that? Then what? So I'll start with PLAB. So with PLAB, you have to when you're done with PLAB 1 and PLAB 2, and you have congratulations, you have cleared both of these. Then you have to apply for jobs, and that is called like housemanship there. I don't know what that means, but like it's kind of like a residency. So you have to apply for residency there, and first of all you will have to go through the foundation years. And after those foundation years, you get to choose the branch that you want to work in, and then after that you give the Royal College examinations and stuff like that. If you want me to cover these kind of topics, like what after you are done with your foundation year, then I'll make another video about that. For AMC, again, you have to apply for jobs. If someone from Australia wants to hire you, then only you can go to Australia. It's not like if you have cleared the exam, you're done, and you just take your bag and go to Australia. That does not work. It does not work that way. So now about USMLE, when you have cleared step 1, step 2, step 3, you apply for this thing called the match. And this match is kind of like a cycle. You have to give your CV and stuff, all of that in this computer, and then it decides like if you're eligible for it or not. People decide if you're eligible for the department or not. There is like this whole interview system that goes on, and then you get selected. Then you start your residency, and after your residency you can start working there, or you have to, if you want to come to India or anywhere, if you want to work anywhere, you can work anywhere after, if you're eligible to work there. So that's there. I think I'm done with the video, and if you have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram. If you have any questions, of course you can comment here. I'll answer to each and every one of you. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel, and I think I'm taking this seriously, so let's just help each other, because we are all going to be together here. So thank you so much.